Hello, everybody.
Hello.
We love you.
We love you.
And we're so glad to have you back for Alpha Mind Mastery's United Earth Angels series. We're already episode 18, Andi. Can you believe it?
18. No, I can't.
Feels like yesterday that we started this.
Yep, it does.
Guys, those who don't know me, my name is Tobi Staples. I'm an Earth Angel. I'm an empath light worker. And I'm also the founder of Alpha Mind Mastery. And Andi, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, I'm Andi Jo Ford. I am a wife, a mother, an Earth Angel. I can't speak. An actor, model, singer-songwriter, and a published author. And a mom to 11. I don't know if I said 11, but I did say mom.
We're really glad to have you here with us. I have to express that. We're grateful for your time, your energy, and allowing us into your energy. Okay? Big time. Guys, before this episode gets started, I have to send out a special thank you. Big time. Everybody that watched my live this morning knew that I was in a very powerfully wrong mindset to be. Okay? And it's crazy because a lot transpired after that live. Like the exterminator came here, and when I lost my lid on him, well, then followed 2 police officers to my door. Okay? No, I didn't get arrested, but they wanted a wellness check, and they wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to off myself. People don't take what I say for what it is. They construe it for what they comprehend it to be. Guys, I'm fine. First and foremost, I want to let you guys know that, yes, I'm okay. I have those moments just like everybody else, but I have to flow through it freely with no restriction and allow myself to feel it. And that's what I did this morning. But before we get into the episode, I got to give a special thank you and a special shout out to a lot of special people that watched my live, and it didn't sit well with them not to reach out to me. And I have a list of people here that, yes, I want to call you out by name because you know what? I'm forever and eternally grateful that you guys took the time and the effort to reach out to me to make sure that I knew that you were there should I need you. And I really, really appreciate that. Sophie, Penny, Heidi, Heather, Ray, Susie, Carol, and my cousin Bobby Lynn. A special thanks to all of you. You all reached out to me. And, you know, it was funny because my cousin, when she's like, Tobi, you know, you could call me Advent. And I said to her, you know, Bobby Lynn, I'm okay. And she's like, you know what? Don't go there with me. Like, we have the same genetics kind of deal. Okay. Don't go there with me. I know exactly what you are feeling. And you know what? Call me on it. It's okay. But I have to also explain something to you all. There's a yin and yang. You always all see me happy all the time. Well, there's the flip side to that. Well, you guys saw the flip side to that, but I was still in a peaceful state at that point. It's when I disrupt that peace within in that powerful negative state that is destructive for myself and for all. This is why I don't reach out to anybody during that state, because not everybody can alchemize that kind of energy. Should I throw that energy while I'm in that state on somebody, and they are incapable of handling it, it will make them sick physically, mentally, and spiritually. And I'm fully aware of that. And I don't do that by my free will. But I love you all. And I'm so grateful that each and every one of you reached out to me. And I'm forever grateful that you took the time to do that. Because, everybody needs to know that somebody cares. And each and every single one of you personally touched base with me and did your own wellness check with me. And I appreciate you all and love you all. And Andi, let's get into our awesome episode tonight.
Yeah. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you are telling yourself all those good things that Toby tells us to tell ourselves, that we're beautiful, we're strong, we're smart, we are worthy, and we are enough. And if there's any other ones that you'd like to add daily, feel free to do so. Sorry, I was keeping the cat from digging up the doggy's puppy pad. Um,
That's
but
okay.
it helps a lot to start your day off with positive self-talk and doing it outside barefoot in the beautiful weather, whether it be sun, snow, or rain. Yes, I said barefoot in the snow. It's not going to kill you for 5 minutes. It feels even better. So take it all in. Tell yourself how much you're worth, because you are worth everything. You are enough. And if anybody doesn't believe you are, then they're not worth your time. So that's what I got to say about that.
Hey,
Huh?
Irina, glad you're with us. Love you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Guys, tonight we're going to talk about paying power play with your life force. Why is this so important? Because I went into that state that you all saw me in today from somebody holding power over me. And that's not a joke. And I had to sever that powerful connection in order to break free of how I was even feeling today. We all put it this way: everything holds power over you until it no longer does. It's simple but very true. What do I mean by that? Your emotions, they hold power over you until you can control them. Your thoughts hold power over you until you can face them and control them and reinstall better thinking. Your triggers control you until you can face your triggers and analyze yourself and have self awareness. There's a lot of things that come into play with what it means when somebody has power over your being or something has power over your being. Now, look, it doesn't mean that it has to be with somebody else. It could be your own being. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I got triggered by the one individual that I have given permissions all my life to have power over me, because it all is based on permissions. You give permissions to your thoughts to be a part of your life. You give permissions to your triggers to control you until you don't. You give permissions to your emotions until you can master them. Okay? Now, everything holds power over you until it no longer does. But if you do not know what holds power over you, well, then it is stealing from your power. Literally. Andi, you want to jump in and say something here?
Yeah, I will. I certainly will. There are a lot of things that I've had to sever ties with because they realized they realized that they held power over me and they abused it. I don't, I'm not an angry person. I don't get upset very easily, and I can't English tonight. Excuse me, but I, I swear it's my only language, the only one I speak fluently. Um, but if I do it's because I have realized that the person I'm angry with has power over me that I didn't give him permission to have, or
Actually,
that they've
you did
taken
give
advantage of it.
permissions.
Or they've taken advantage of it. Yeah. I
Yes.
didn't know I had given
Yeah.
permission,
Yeah.
but I've noticed that a lot. Like, I love my mama's family, but they're very do this, do that, do this, do that. You know what I mean? I was mad for a while about it, till the inner work and everything. And then I realized I'm mad because I let them. I'm mad at them because I let them. Okay. They don't have permission and they will never have it again. So I'm not going to lash out or get mad at them. Do I spend much time with them? No, because I don't know. They think that they have control and they do not. So I don't spend time with them. But I love them dearly. I don't get to see my cousins very often because they have their own families. We were close when we were little. But I don't have time. I don't have time to deal with someone who thinks they have power over me when they don't. So you allow people to have power over you until you don't allow it anymore.
That's right. I like this. Very deep and real. Thanks for sharing. I love you, Dina. Thanks for being with us tonight. We love you. I'm really grateful for all of you ladies and gentlemen that come out and interact with us. But yes, Andy, you're right. You're right. We run unaware until we're aware even about the things that hold power over us.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how many things held power over me until they did, until I realized them, until I did the inner work on myself. But I also knew for a very long time that I gave permissions to my mother to hold power over me. I did consciously, actually. Straight up, I did. I allowed her opinions to influence mine. I allowed her judgments to influence my decision making. Why? Because I was for so long battling death and unsure of the outcome that I allowed my mother to have that control and governance and her opinions and influence. And you know what I mean? Until I'm at the point right now that it inflicts suffering should I allow it, because I'm not who I used to be. So as I've evolved and grown and done my own inner work and know what's right from wrong and know what feels good and what doesn't and can stay true to that within myself. Yeah. Yesterday was a huge realization for me that I had to stand up and call my power back and take my power back from the biggest permission that I had ever given in my life to have power over me. And it was the most excruciating thing to do, the hardest thing to do. It ripped me out of my core. It brought me home and I totally emptied my apartment. Literally, memories thrown, everything gone. I ripped up my hopes and dreams and said, you know what? Fuck this shit. Because I didn't want any memories from when anything held power over me. And that's why when I came home yesterday, I was like, nah, everything's going, because these memories that I'm looking at, all it reminds me of is all of the bullshit and the power that all of these people had over me. And I can't do it. I can't even look at it. It makes me want to puke. Don't know how I've been here, Andy. I'm like,
I'm letting you go on about it because, feel it, let it go.
No, but it was tough. It was tough. It was tough. It was tough because, you're sitting there trying to tell somebody how they make you feel and what doesn't feel right. So, what really caused the explosion yesterday, I'll get personal and I'll get vulnerable with everybody. What was holding power over me was the thoughts and the disconnection and the distance between the family right now. And I brought it to table. yes, it disturbs me that my siblings and I are not close knit and really, really can depend on each other. And I brought to table that it did not start with our generations, but I wanted it to end for my kids and my grandkids. And that it didn't matter what I had done in my life. I had put in enough work, inner work, and done enough changes in my life and in everybody else's life that the fairest thing would be for the family to reunite, reconnect, rekindle bonds. And I was shamed, blamed, guilted, denied. And I was even told when I brought some facts to the table, why would I even think I'm entitled to any help whatsoever? And I crumbled, crashed, and burned so hard that, yeah, even the cops came today to check on me to see if I was going to off myself. But now I understand the struggles in my life because she never felt I was entitled to anything, literally. And I try to tell her that. And she doesn't want to hear it. And there are people that will only hear their thoughts about what you're telling them and not hearing what you're saying. And I have been screaming for help right in her face for years, and she refuses to hear me, telling me that I have an air of entitlement, believing that people need to come in and save me. That's what she told me. After I have never been saved from anything in my life. And yes, I come out here and I speak the truth to you all because the truth needs to be told. And I gave my mother permissions to govern my life. I gave my mother the permission to raise my children. This is why it affected me so badly. To sit here and hear my mother tell me these things because she couldn't handle the truth of reality. It was soul crushing. A mother can break a child's spirit now, no matter how old they are. Well, that's exactly what she did yesterday. That's because I had given permissions to her to have power over me. So therefore, it affected me to that magnitude because I'm a powerful being. Well, for my own mother to sit there and tell me yesterday that I'm not entitled to any help, and this air of entitlement that I have when it comes to help, I've never been given a handout in my fucking life. I've had to sell my ass to feed other people's children, not my own. The things that I've had to endure to get ahead after all of the fucking trauma, pain, and suffering that was inflicted on me is unearthly. And I did it all alone. I have never had a handout in my life. Never. So for her to tell me that, why? Because I asked my grandmother, who's 100, who is actually, I will speak the truth out here too, worth $1 million for $5,000 when I left the narcissist to fix my car and repair my life. My mother shamed me, blamed me, guilted me, told me I was stupid, told me that I had made the worst decision of my life. Well, my mother's well aware of me smoking crack and selling my ass, but asking my grandmother for assistance was worse than all that. So when I confronted her and I told her about it yesterday, again, she told me that I wasn't entitled to help. And that because you see, when I had asked my grandmother to help me, it was also to pay off some debt that I had on her credit card that I had been building with this guy to make sure that the credit card was clear and I didn't have to worry about payments because I didn't have an income. Well, I intentionally built that credit to use knowing that this man would kill me if I didn't leave, only to jump out of that situation thinking I had a safety net. But her being pissed off that I asked my grandmother for financial assistance, she cut me off the credit that I had built. Yes, that's what happened to me. That's why I've lost my car. I had to lose my dog. I had nothing to fall back on, resources financially to change. what I was living. So yesterday when I told her and expressed to her that I didn't like the fact that I no longer have a car, and that had she have just allowed me to fix my car, I wouldn't have had to borrow somebody else's yesterday to get there. For her to remain solid in her judgment and be very firm in being repetitive to what she had already told me. I had given her the opportunity to apologize to me. All I needed to know is that she felt what I was going through instead of denying me of anything. For once in my life, and she deflected, zero self-accountability, denying it all, and then wanted to claim she's the victim and be upset all day because I fucking spit truth. No, she fucking broke my spirit on purpose. On top of having a heart attack and walking away out of a narcissistic relationship. To what I thought, I gave her the power over me. I believed that she would be there to help me, not slice my throat after all of that. Well, that's what happened yesterday, everybody. I went to my mother's and I had expressed to her that how is my life supposed to get better when I have no resources? I have no help. I cannot get a remote job in conditions that I'm living. And now I don't have a car to go to work. So how am I getting things better? And I was told, well, what makes you entitled to help anyway? Okay. So, I've beat death. And I have done things that are listen. And I have to justify to my mother that I'm allowed to ask for help. To my grandmother, who's worth $1 million, I asked her for $5,000. So yes, that's what drove me into that state yesterday and today. Because I have been sitting here for months, actually a year now, enduring loss of everything in my life, even down to memories. And there was zero compassion, actually telling me that these are the consequences of my choices. So yeah, it was really fucking brutal. Okay? Because the one person I thought I had in my corner has been my biggest fucking enemy my whole life. And I just realized that. Yeah. So again, special thanks to everybody who reached out to me today because it was really, really heartfelt. But that's what happened. So yes, things hold power over you until they don't. And I had given what seemingly looks like from where I sit, the biggest enemy that I could ever have, talking to me like that. And in 2024, people can't hide how they feel about you anymore. So it was really hard hitting for me to hear my mother's truth yesterday. When that was the last thing that I ever would have expected to come out of her mouth. So much so, yes, it broke my spirit and I wanted off this planet. I really did. That's, and you wonder why I love children and I protect children the way I do. Because I was that child that was heavily abused. Never fucking heard. Always told to shut the fuck up. My mother has nerve to ask me, why did you never tell me that you were molested at 4 years old? Well, was I ever allowed to speak? Or every time I opened my mouth, were you telling me to be quiet? You see, there's a lot of things nobody knows about me. And I still come out here and I show love to the world because nothing of my past will hold power over me or the love that's fueling me. And this is what you all need to see. And no, I can't call people when I'm feeling that flip side. My darkness will fucking kill another if I drag you into it. You will never get yourself out of it. I guarantee it. Because I don't think anybody would have been able to endure what I felt yesterday. Literally. It was worse than laying in total organ failure in ICU. I felt that to my soul. I left my mother's bawling. Didn't stop all day. Hey, Andy, go for it.
Well, I'm kind of flabbergasted that a mother would treat her child that way. Because
Well,
my mom wasn't, the best mom in the world, but she never treated me that way. You know what I mean?
she claims to love me, but the way she loves is poisonous and toxic because her mother was narcissistic. So, you know, it's okay. Raised by a narcissist, you become one, you know? And
Yeah.
then if you can't look at yourself and have self accountability, well, you run as a narcissist too, because the abused becomes the abuser. That's just the cycle of it until it stops.
Yep.
And and generational curses, guys, they do have power over you until you break them.
Yep.
Yes,
They
they
do.
do.
They absolutely do. Ask my firstborn children that are now adults now. They see the difference. I asked them, said, "Are you salty? Are you mad that I don't treat the little ones the same way I treated you?" And my 21-year-old looked at me and they said, I'm glad that you saw how you were, and I'm glad that you changed." She said, "But those little ones will never know the you we knew." I said, "Well, I mean, do you really want them to?" They said, "No, not really." I said, "But I do treat you better now, too." And she said, "Yeah, yeah, you do." So, generational curses can be broken. Do I still holler, yell, and get upset when they do a bunch of crap and they're just swinging on my nerves? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I tell them to go in the room, leave me alone. Yeah, I do. I'll tell you. But afterwards, and they've been in their room for, I don't know, 30 minutes playing, I'll go in there and say, "Well, you know what? You were swinging on my nerve today. So, you know,
I gotta
calm
pause you,
down."
Andy. Guy just jumped in. Guy, I love you, and I'm so sorry I wouldn't smile for you, buddy. Thank God you swooped in. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you, and I thank you, buddy. I really do. Sorry about that. Guy told me on the live this morning, smile, and I was like, fuck that. Sorry, Andy, go ahead. I just had to choke
Uh,
you out.
no, you're fine. Um, yeah, it's just I'm living proof that generational curses can be broken. Um, I was raised with my ass swatted, with my mouth swatted, with pick you a switch, with all this other crap. And I started, I was half as bad as my mom was, just half as, I wouldn't like go to the extreme she went with my first children, but I did a switch. I switched. I didn't get a switch. I switched. Um, and realized that that's not how to raise children. It's not. You abuse a child, you raise an abuser. And I don't want to do that. I don't want my children to grow up thinking it's okay because
But we don't realize we're the abuser until we look at ourselves and
right.
our abusive ways.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do you want to read the comments, or do you want me to cut you off every time?
You can go ahead.
It's all good. We always need to vent to recharge for a better day. Love you, Gee.
Yep.
Hey, Trish, I'm here if you ever need to talk, Toby. Now I understand why you didn't call me when you were over there to meet up outside. Sorry you went through that. Sometimes you just got to cut family off, period. Love you, girl. Trish, that's exactly why I didn't call you. I left there bawling my eyes out so bad. I don't even want to think about it, you see? Andy.
Well, um, it is true that sometimes we have to cut out even family out of our lives just to get our own power back that they've had our whole lives. It sucks, and it's just it sometimes it's too much. But we the way we feel things is different than the way most people do. For Toby and I, it has taken everything in me to not look at her and feel everything she's feeling right now. I'm trying to not even look at the screen right now
You know
because I
what?
know.
It's a perfect example. It had to happen because you all needed to see what happens when even a memory holds power over you.
Right.
So
It
what you
is.
guys just witnessed, take it as a learned lesson. Everything holds power over us until it doesn't. Christ, I was cleaning out memories, and memories made me cry like a motherfucker over the past 2 days. Things, even memories, hold power over you until they don't, guys. But yeah. And you know what? Trish has the ability. She came over here. Stop fucking crying. You're making me cry. Dogs. You know what I should have, Trish? But you know what? If you would have seen me crying, we would have both hauled house. So you know what? It was better for the whole neighborhood if I didn't come to your place.
Yeah, I think the neighborhood would have been a little in an uproar.
Well, you know what? I have to tell you something about Trish. Trish is older than me, but Trish has been the earth angel that has given me guidance throughout my life. And when I got picked on, because I got fucking picked on, man, did I get picked on. And Trish used to tell me, don't fucking take that shit. Doesn't matter if you got to kick their ass. Don't take that shit. Don't let anybody disrespect you. You're going to let people disrespect you, and it's going to become the norm.
Yeah.
And, you know, I used to listen to her big time with her guidance and shit because, you know what? She's got a lot of strength and guidance and wisdom. She's been through it too. So, you know what? I'm eternally grateful for Trish. I'm telling you, the way she's truthful, allowed me to speak the same, you know, big
Yeah.
time, big time. I love you all. And Gee, stop this crying or I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
pull
pull a
moonlight.
moonlight. Oh
No, but you know what?
no!
Guess what? You know, when you cry, that's your truest emotional reaction. So if you don't really cry, you don't feel it. Well, I allow myself to feel it. And Trish gives me a safe space to feel it every time I know she's in my presence. So that's what made me cry, is knowing that I'm safe enough to do it. Trish was there. You know?
Can't hear you. Oh no! I can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh fuck, you know what? I'm gonna stop playing back here. My energy's like, I'm grateful for you guys, but yeah, that's the shit that happened to me. And I really like look, after I had a heart attack, all of my finances were squashed because I couldn't go back to work. But I was also taking beatings. I meant to say, don't do it, Gee. But honestly, like, look, when I was with that was just number one love back in grade 5. Oh, woohoo.
Woo!
So does she still have power over you? Oh, fuck.
Well, well,
I
now
love you
we
guys.
know.
I love you guys. I'm grateful. You know what? These two, they know me since I'm a teenager. And look at that. Look at that answer. Yes. I love it. Well, look, we give permissions if it's to the right people to have the right effects on us. Because look, you just witnessed it. And he's my stalker. He's my stalker. I love it. I love it. See,
Oh.
these two have known me since I was a very small child. She scares me straight.
Oh, Lord
I
have
love these
mercy.
guys. But yeah, they've known me since I was a teenager. And you see, we give people permissions. So you see what Trish coming up there, and I knew she was here, and it just automatically, my subconscious brain automatically knew it was safe to allow myself to be vulnerable. And that's what happens with the subconscious brain. People either allow you to feel safe, or they allow you to clam up and they trigger a fear response in you, or they trigger survival in you, or they trigger, like the magnitude of joy that I was feeling before that conversation yesterday that broke out like that because it was my son's birthday. When it flipped because of the permissions, I was embedded in what you saw me all still the remainder of today. But you see, when Trish came in and gave me that safe space, she gave me that safety to let it out. And I actually, it's like my cousin, she made me cry today too, just telling me, yeah, guys, you got to really watch what has power over you. And if you don't look at it and you don't see it, and you just witnessed it with me as a prime example of a flip magnitude in a matter of what? Half an hour we've been on the episode?
Mm-hmm.
So, and also too, if you're emotionally intelligent and self-mastered, it doesn't mean that you don't cry and you don't feel, but it means that you allow your body to feel it 60 to 90 seconds. That is the power of the response of the body for the chemicals and the regulation. Anything past that, it's by choice that you're hanging on to it, that you're allowing it to have power over you, and you're giving it the permissions to do that. So you got to take a look at the things that have power over you, because it's the things that we don't even realize that are governing us the most.
Right.
Well, I'm glad I was able to make you laugh. Love you, ladies. Yes, I'm so grateful for you, Guy. I'm off. Like foreskin? Oh, did I say that? I love you, Guy. Have a good night. Shit. Yeah, so Andy, I've talked a lot during this episode, so why don't you take the floor?
Well, what can I say to top that off?
Oh, I like that what Guy said. Just, you know what? You can talk, I'll do these things. Yeah, like a dress on prom night. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know what to say. Like my brain is flabbergasted right now, Toby.
Well, yeah, because Andy didn't see my live this morning, so she really didn't understand the state that you guys all saw me in this morning. So now she's getting the story, and now she's feeling devastated. I can see it in her face. Andy, don't hold it.
Oh, I'm not. I'm trying to let it go.
So take a deep breath and release it.
Well,
there you go. And
after the
talk
show,
about how
I'm
it
gonna
made you
go.
feel. Because my story just had power and influence over you. So it's a perfect learning curve opportunity for them.
True. Well, just like with one of my best friends, Nikki, she lives in Mississippi. Anytime she tells me something bad that's happened, I'm not going to get into her business on here. I feel it immensely. And even though she's in Mississippi and I'm in West Virginia, we are emotionally close. We are connected. We have been since 2009, I believe. And anytime I talk to Toby or I see her, and she's going through something, I can feel what she's going through. I can feel her happiness. I can feel her sadness. I can feel her irritation. And what happened to her was I've never felt her anger. I've never felt her have that much sadness. And it's overwhelming. It's an overwhelming feeling for me. Like, I remember the anger I felt when I was with my ex-husband. I've felt that and I've let it go. But this is a different anger.
Express
This
it.
This is a different hurt. It's her mother. It
I know
feels different.
it does. It hit me to my soul.
I can feel that it's a soul crushing pain, soul crushing anger, soul crushing sorrow. And I don't have words to describe it. I really don't. That's the only thing that my mouth will spit out about how she feels, how I felt the way she feels. I've never felt anything that deep before. I'm thankful I haven't, because feeling it from her, and that hurt. That hurt in so many different ways. I'm trying to process it. I'm trying to, keep it from going up to my head to process it here, because this will fuck with you. It ain't gonna process it the right way. Ain't gonna process nothing the right way. Trying to process it here. Trying to take each individual emotion that I feel from her and process it and let it run through my heart and send it back out as, we can help people with this. How can we do it? How? Well, you take each individual emotion. You can't just take it all at once. Because if you try to take it all on at once, like I did when she first said it, you get flabbergasted. You get overwhelmed. You get overcome with it. It might take me a little while tonight after the live to completely, deflect and turn it into, I don't know, deflect is not the right word. What's the right word, Toby? Not
Um,
deflect, but transmute. Yes.
there you go.
To
Alchemist.
yeah, to transmute all of the crap that was thrown at her within a matter of what? Not even a day, like not even an hour. All the crap. It's just my brain is trying to butt in. Sorry. when my
Trish
brain
says,
tries,
Trish
my
says,
brain.
been there, done that decades ago, cut my mom off. So I totally get it.
Oh my goodness! I threatened to do that to my mom once, and she backed off.
Well, you know something, I never knew that my mother felt that way about me. But it really correlates to how I felt all my life about how I was being treated. Like
Yeah,
she's convinced that she loves me, but how do you love somebody when you don't even take the time to listen to what they're trying to say? That's a hypocrisy. That's not true. You can't tell me that you love me. Like I said yesterday, love is a not a fucking noun. It's an action, it's a verb. Don't sit there and tell me about fucking love when there is none here. And I literally had to go. And I really feel bad because that all went down for my son's 23rd birthday.
yeah,
You know? Exactly, Toby. Yeah. And I always thought that she was my biggest cheerleader, but she has been actually the one that has been blocking my blessings on purpose.
yeah,
Like, listen, it's 2024. People can't hide how they feel about you anymore. Well, my
yeah,
mother couldn't hide how she felt about me yesterday. And it was really, really difficult to deal with for me. But I'm glad now that I have the truth. That's why I say this morning when I woke up saying, fuck this world and fuck everybody in it. Why would I not feel any other way? You know, and what people don't realize is, something, I stayed with this man for 1 year and took beatings while I was building that credit and that safety net for myself. Yeah, because I couldn't ask my mom. I couldn't ask my grandmother because of all the fucking family bullshit. Nobody wants to help each other. Everybody wants to shame, blame, guilt everybody and let the Toby be nice. Okay. Listen, my grandmother's 100 years old. She's got $1 million in the bank. The fuck is she gonna do with it? Hoard it? Same way she has? What, I can't get 5,000 of that to fix my life after I just fucking almost ended up dead twice in 2 years? had a heart attack, flesh-eating disease through my whole sinus cavity, almost fucking killed me, and I can't get a little help. And then when I'm asking what's the resistance with help? To be told, well, I'm not entitled to any. And then people wonder why I don't ask for help. Because I've been conditioned to shut it up, suck it up, and get the fuck over it. Well, people don't just do that. And anybody who expects you to is an evil pit of hell. And that's all I can say. You know, everybody loves to talk about how my grandmother's evil because she chose herself over everybody else. Well, guess what? It fucking leaked down the generations because I can see it, taste it, smell it, and I don't want any of it. And this is why I got to do what I got to do. And no, I don't mind. Everybody's watched me lose everything. Well, now I've intentionally gone down to nothing. That's okay. I don't need help. I don't need handouts. I've never had any in my life. And I won't live like this forever. No, I won't. But yes, no matter what I've lived, it's like people are still out to get me. But now I realize why my life has been so fucking brutal. With that mentality of the one person I allowed to have power over me, well, that mentality has been governing me because I gave it the power to. For over 20 years, fuck. Like, only to realize now that she was secretly hating me the whole time too. How could it not be that if you genuinely, how could I be stupid and that be the worst mistake of my life to ask my grandmother for help? That would have been the smartest thing to do other than go sell my ass or go start robbing or go fucking sell drugs. But the dumbest thing for me to do was to ask my grandmother for help. Well, why did I not get that help? Because my mother told me I was stupid and that it was the worst thing I could have ever done. And then she went ahead and cut me off the fucking credit. So I didn't get the help from my grandmother and I got punished by my mother and cut off the credit that I fucking built because I had just gone bankrupt. I couldn't do it under my name. So I did it under hers as a safety net, only to be cut out of it. Not allowed to use it. So I got rid of my car. You know, she might as well share a little bit now while she's still here on earth so she can see how happy that money would help you out. But not everyone thinks like that. Actually, you know what? My grandmother had offered me help. Literally. She said, Tobi, I know what you're going through. Anything that you need right now because you've helped me and I finally see you for who you are. My grandmother told me that she hated me my whole life. Ever since she found out that I was in my mother's womb, she was out to get me because I was a fucking problem to my daughter and the whole family and everybody that came before me. She admitted that to me when I left this narcissist a year ago. And she also told me that she was wrong in hating me my whole life, that she finally sees the heart that I have and that she's willing to help me. Well, she wanted to know factual numbers. I told her that I had been left with a couple of $1,000s of debt on the credit cards that I had built the credit for with my mother. And I asked her for help. I said, Grandma, I need to pay that. And I also need a chunk to fix my car because at that point, I was actually going to my grandmother's and assisting her, taking care of her. Well, it makes perfect sense when somebody doesn't want you involved there helping and caring and everything that yes, they're going to make sure your car sinks so you can't get there. And yes, they're going to put fucking detours and stop signs in your way to pause you and stop you. Of course. Well, that's why my grandmother ended up in a home. Because my family, when I was supposed to move in with my grandmother last year to assist me and assist her because she's wealthy enough, she's paying what, $9,000 a month for home care in a fucking facility, but she wanted me to move in there and pay me. Well, the whole family stopped that, but I'm the only one that has training sufficient to let it happen. Then after that, hey, shit, get cut off of everything because I asked my grandmother for help. When my grandmother was willing to give it to me, she said, Tobi, I'll give it to you. I'll give you more than that. Anything you need. I'll give it to you because I finally see who you are. And my grandmother's sitting on $1 million. Why wouldn't she fucking help me? No. When I called my mother to find out the numbers of exact numbers so she could be paid off and I could get my car fixed, she lost her fucking marbles and then punished me for it by cutting me off the credit. And yes, I come out here and speak total truth. This is not just my perception of it. These are actual facts that I have had to live. So, and out of $1 million, what really is $5,000? Especially if she was about to give it to me. But no, my mother insists that because I even gave my grandmother a number that she could assist me with, that I was stupid and that it was the worst mistake that I could have ever made in my life. How can you tell anybody that after they've smoked crack and sold their ass and fucking hurt people? And no, asking my grandmother for money was worse than that. Nobody deserves that kind of unsupportive, twisted, sick, evil kind of love. Or to give permissions to allow that power over you in your life. And yeah, it really affected me. And you guys could all see it. Well, how could it not? Now I understand why all my life I could not ask for help. Not even when I needed it emotionally, spiritually, after I'd been beaten, raped. I've been raped at gunpoint even. And no, could I ever go to my mother? No, because she always believed that anything that I got into was a product of my own fucking choices and not the belief systems that she installed me with. There's no accountability there. And yes, I'll come out here and I'll tell my story because you know what? Hopefully it helps you all. That's why I do it. Andi, you want to take the floor for 5 minutes? I know I've had a lot to say out here today, but you want to take the floor for a couple of minutes because we're going to wrap up this episode?
Sure. I want to talk about the 8/8 that's coming up. Like the thing you posted about?
Lions Portal.
Yes.
Lionsgate Portal.
Please illuminate me. Please.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of energetic influence that's happening on this earth. And I talk about it a lot. Planets have been aligning for years, hundreds and thousands of years, for this exact thing that's taking place on the planet. It is the ascension of the planet. Always keep it real, hun. I do. And I'm grateful for you to have led the way. You paved that path for me, Trish, and I forever salute you for that. And I love you and I cherish you seriously, because without you being that way, it would have never given me the allowance to speak the truth, no matter what it cost me, literally. Guys, the Lionsgate Portal, it opened in July. I told you since last year, November, we've had heavy energetic influences hitting the planet. Solar flares, electromagnetic storms. There is energetic influence coming from the whole universe to increase the frequency on Earth because everybody's suffering. Bring it back to a love frequency. It's not a joke. We're already there, and it's making sure of it. But the timelines have shifted. Yes, there's been a split. Everybody that is in tune with themselves and can love themselves, well, you're on the right side of the shift. Anybody that cannot, you're on the wrong side of the shift. Anybody that's on the right side of the shift, you're going to see others start slowly just dropping like flies over the next year. Because energetically, we've hit a certain point that anybody that cannot hold this frequency will not be able to. It's not about who you are, what you do, what you choose to do, whatever. It's about frequency first. Everything's been energetically influenced. We've been having portals open all the time. This is nothing new, but they've been amplified and very simultaneously since November of last year. Everything has been a catalyst for what is about to happen. And what is that? There's nothing to fear because love frequency is here, y'all. So all you got to do is love yourself and only allow the love that's fueling you to have the power over your life force and where you put it. because right now it's make or break it. We have a new moon cycle happening right now also, which is a big energetic influence as well. The Schumann resonance Schumann resonance, you can see the energetic frequency on the planet has been amplified in a way that it never has been on the planet up until now. Never. Well, everything in the universe is working for our highest good to bring us to a better frequency for everybody, because we all deserve it. We all do. You know, we were born into this planet being love, and life made us unloving. Well, you got to go back to loving you by intention and on purpose. So that's what Lion Gate is. It's actually portals, but listen, since CERN opened, oh yeah. Okay. I was just told don't talk about that right now. So I just mentioned CERN and I wanted to get into it and I was told no. Okay. Portals happen energetically. It's energetic influences. It's normal. It's these, you know, everybody thinks it's these big holes. Like, no, it's just energetic amplification because planets are moving. We may sit stagnant, but everything is moving around us all the time. So everything in the universe is too. But yes, the planet is ascending into a 5D consciousness level, which is self-awareness, self-love, loving others, 1,000 years of peace is coming back on the planet. It's a Kali Yuga cycle. So these are all just little catalysts for the greatest show on earth. And what's the greatest show on earth? Is we're going to be flowing from love freely. So hey, come on, how can it not be great? You know, don't we all want love?
Yeah. Yeah, we
So
do.
that's what's being amplified on the planet. The love of the whole universe is amplified. That's
I
all
can
it
feel
really
a lot. I can feel a lot.
Yes, and this is the storm. This is the storm, and this is why yesterday had to happen for me too. Guys, you're going to see, you know, that my story is not just relevant to me, it's relevant to all of you tonight. Because you're going to see people no longer be able to hide how they feel about you. It's energetically influenced. It has to come out. So they are going to tell you truthfully what they feel about you. It cannot be hidden. And no, it is not your fault, especially the ones that are doing the inner work and that love themselves. Listen, you're going to irritate people's demons more than ever right now because they have to be exposed to be dealt with spiritually. You don't have to war. Spirit's taking care of that. But everything right now, yes, it is a war of the souls happening. It really is. And we know what side of the fence we're on just by knowing if you love yourself or not. And anybody that comes out that listens to me, we all love each other and we love ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, Andi, we're going to wrap up this episode. So, you want to say goodnight to everybody?
Yes. Good night, everybody. I think Oreo wants to say it too. Hi.
Hi, Oreo.
Really? Okay. She's learned to whisper. When she wants something, she'll go, But yes, good night, everyone. Do not allow anyone to have your power or have power over you. It's if you think, I could trust this, I could trust this person, I could. No, obviously, Toby has shown you proof of that. Her own mother. Keep your power. Don't let anybody have power over you. Don't let anybody borrow your power. I mean, yes, I do. I send my husband energy at night because he works all night and he gets tired in the middle of the night. Yes, I send him energy. But when he comes home and we lay in bed together, it gets returned back to me. That's the way it happens every morning. That's what happens. I don't have to call energy back from him anymore because when he lays down beside of me, we connect. Even if we're not touching, we connect, my energy returns. So
Did
Don't
you
let him
read
break
Trisha's
out.
comment right there
Wait,
asking you?
yes. Yes, you're reading that right. I'm a mother of 11. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I love it. I love it.
And I drive my husband crazy daily because I'm at home with these kids and I keep them like semi quiet in the other room because we don't have a bedroom door. We have a curtain. And he comes in here and sleeps during the day because he works during the night. So I drive him crazy. And
Yep, that part sucks for him, but he's a grown man and I'm sure he understands, Toby. Actually, you know what? He was right in the middle of it and it totally destroyed him too because he felt it off of me. He felt what I felt. It was totally destructive for me and him. We're both okay though, but
thank
yes.
you, Patricia.
Oh yeah, God bless you, girl.
Laugh my fucking ass off.
Okay, guys, I'm really grateful for you all. I'm really grateful that you all reached out to me today. Trish, I'm forever grateful for you two and your interaction. I'm so happy you all came out. Really, so many people showed me love and support today. Literally, you guys changed my world in ways that I'm eternally grateful because I'll tell you honestly, the ones that I told I was in crisis to, they didn't even ask me if I was okay. So trust me when I feel the difference today from all the love, genuinely, and those who genuinely give a shit about me. And I'm forever grateful for you all. And guys, you got to come out tomorrow night. We didn't get to mention it. Listen, Andy's LinkedIn room. You got to check her out, Parenting Boys. She's going to get the link tomorrow. She's going to post it to the Alpha E-Mind Mastery page. So look out for it. Get the link. Check her on LinkedIn. Eternally grateful for you all. And yes, I come out here with real raw truth. And no, I'm not trying to shame my mother, but I'm just trying to tell you all proof of the facts of what happens when somebody's got power over you. And I gave my mother permissions, even at 50, to have that power over me. Well, it destroyed me yesterday.
Yeah. I took my mother's permissions a while ago.
Don't give permissions to your triggers. Don't give permissions to your emotions.
Mm-mm.
Nice to meet you, Andy. You know what? You have to friend request each other. You two would get along real great. Oh, I already know it. I already know
Yeah.
it. Oh yeah. I laugh off of Trisha's posts all fucking day long. That's what I come, guys. Nothing keeps me on Facebook longer than Trisha's posts. I swear to God. And I sit there and I laugh. You know that I sit there and I laugh for a good minute before I even like it, love it, comment on it. I just sit there and say, yes, Trish, another good one. Fuck, I
You
love
just
her
take
humor.
it all in, don't you,
I
before you do
do.
anything?
I do. I do. I do.
Might not be able to handle my posts.
Oh no.
Eh.
You know what, Trish, you need to hear Andy's story. Do you know something, Andy? Trish would really appreciate that. Something that she will really appreciate because then when she reiterates to you, holy fuck. I'm telling you, ladies, you're warrior women. That's why you get along. Warriors, warriors, warriors.
If it makes me laugh, I'm sharing it.
Yeah, definitely. But our humor is real raw and sick. Okay, guys, I'm really grateful that you guys all came out for the episode. I'm grateful for the interaction. I'm grateful for all of the love so much because, the farthest thing all my life that I've ever felt was loved. And now that I've actually embodied universal love, I really know the difference. And it's so important knowing this love that I don't allow anything to have power over me because the only power that should be governing me is the universal power that's fueling me. And nobody has permissions to that but me. And nobody has the free will. Well, they do have the free will, but they should not play in your energy to make you suffer. No, they shouldn't. People should be kind, caring, and compassionate to no matter who it was. Oh, and another thing was, what did I do after that? I reiterated to my son, calmly and assertively, right in front of my mother, that he will never be denied any help from me, no matter what. And that I would literally cut off my arm to give it to him should I had to. And I would take a knife and cut out my heart out of my chest and give it to him, should he even just want it. That he is worthy of anything. So we'll leave that on a good note. That's how I alchemized that energy. But man, it was hard to handle. It really was. Guys, we love you. We're grateful for you. Come out next week and catch episode 19 already.
And tomorrow night at 7, my audio room, my LinkedIn audio room, we're talking about adult sons, how to help them get there, how to help them when they're already there, because sometimes they can't do it on their own. So it'll be interesting. Join me on LinkedIn tomorrow. Andrea Ford.
Please do. Andi Ford's LinkedIn room. She's going to post it on the Alpha E Mind Mastery page. Guys, look out for it because those audio rooms are great, great stuff. Guys, thanks again. Trish, I love you lots. Thank you. Thank you. Love you guys. Have a great night.
Love you. Bye.